What's up? Hold on. What's up, guys? Yeah, old man. I tell you what, welcome to the game. The Great American Experience is live once again. And I'm the Wizard of Oz. This is not my show. I'm simply the guy in the background pushing the buttons. So I figure we'll just wait for everybody to uh, get the notifications and go from there. All right. I'm going to be doing some stuff in the background. Come on up. Party started. Hey, what's up, Zoom? It was a beautiful, gorgeous day, and I got a shit ton of work done today. Hey, Kristen, welcome in. Grab a link. Come on up. Hey, Redneck. Come on up on the screen. Join the panel. Let's get this party started. You know, I don't like to smoke alone. Get a couple people on here and we'll fire up a bowl. Hell yeah. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Gonna have another one identical to it tomorrow. A singularity. How are you? Grab a link, my friend. Hey, Dallas. What's happening? Hell yeah. Rock on. Because it's a no taco Tuesday. No tacos for us. But since we get a couple people up on the screen, we had some fire in the bowl. Hey, Valentine, welcome in. Welcome to the game. The Great American Experience is waiting for you. Back. What is that Apex? Hey, Bear. Damn straight. Hey, let me put up a link for you. Come on up, join the party. Hey, where you at, man? Hey, Bear. Damn straight. Hey, you got copy the TV. Come on up, join the party. Hey. Yeah, you getting ready to get on? Oh, sure. Well, stream your steaks. Rock on, man. All right. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. He's all Apex was all wrapped up and cooking some steaks and stuff. Oh shit. Hey TBD, did you get that talkback stuff fixed?
No, I don't. What did I have to fix?
I don't know. It was talking back at me. Did you get that talkback stuff fixed? Oh yeah, there it is. You got a tab open somewhere.
Okay,
Wow. What did I have to fix? Singularity. What's up, brother?
How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Oh, tell you what, we've got this heat wave going here. It's about killing me.
Really? Well, fortunately, I've been acclimating myself, and it's not been a huge problem for me.
And we got lucky there for a long time. We were stuck in the 70s, and it went from the 70s to the high 90s. Just boom.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've had a nice gradual climb up through the 80s, and looks like we're going to be in the high 90s come Friday.
Nice. Yeah, we're supposed to break 100 tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird that you're way up there, man. Ooh, hold on a second. I got to get this. I'll be right back.
We had high 90s today and yesterday, and it's dropping down to the 80s tomorrow, so it'll be comfortable for me personally. But I'm kind of used to this weather, so it's not that big of a deal. But
yeah, I'm the opposite. I thrive in the winter.
yeah, I like the 80s and the 90s, right?
See, I would prefer 30, 40 degrees.
No, I hate that shit. I don't like it. I don't like cold weather at all. I like board shorts and t-shirts. So yeah. What's up, Miss Miriam? Yeah.
Hi, Miriam, Zachary, Valentine, Tim.
Yeah. I like I like hot weather. It's yeah, this is my season, right? So I like it.
So you're definitely at home with the weather.
Huh? I don't know.
Singularity TBD. What's up? Shoot, Valentine weather. What's up, everybody? Yo, you want to see this?
Some people don't like it, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
I don't mind the 70s and 80s. I do like that, but when it starts getting over 80,
yeah, I hear you. I mean, when it gets in the 90s to the hundreds, then it gets kind of uncomfortable. It depends on the humidity, though. It depends on the humidity. If the humidity is low, then it doesn't. It's not that bad, but.
And see, we're really dry here, but we're on our soil is almost white. It's clay. It's a caliche clay. It's either caliche clay, sandstone, or sand. So yeah, it's that bright white reflective.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells like bacon for some reason. All right. Not quite ready yet. I'll be right back, guys.
No, weather. I'm not. Shit, I love hot weather. I don't care about it. It doesn't bother me at all. Not one bit.
So what have you been up to, GBD?
Well, today I was doing some tax bullshit and had to take care of a few things, and that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah, taxes and bills, things like that. I mean, well,
Yeah. Utah
things,
hit 105.
yeah, most people have to do that, so you just gotta take care of it, and
Yep.
yeah, you gotta take care of it, and whatever.
Hey, Nation. Looks like it hit 105 in Utah.
Yeah.
Actually, that Utah heat wave and drought is where we're getting blasted by the hot air from there right now. That's what's nailing us.
I also had to call the veterinary clinic for my dog's cancer treatment today, and I didn't like what they told me, so I was kind of pissed about that.
Not going well.
No, it's going well, but shit, they're charging me a shit ton of money. And I was like, why are you guys charging me so much for these cancer treatments? For my and well,
Yo, guys, listen to the sizzle. Listen to the sizzle.
oh shit.
And they probably told you because they can.
Yeah, they can, and I just gotta do it, I guess. So,
Hey, Dallas.
Holy shit. Well, it's better than the 125 he had a few days ago.
This looks like the Vietnamese food. The
Right?
Hey, Natural, maybe you should get out of Dodge, bro. I'm just saying, man.
I know, right?
no, I'm just saying that looks like the thin sliced Vietnamese pork or beef that you get at the restaurant. It looks exactly the same.
What I just slapped on the grill?
Yeah, it looks exactly the same.
Right on. I think I was top sirloin. I can't remember.
So see?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But
Delicious.
it looks the same.
It looks like squirrel to me.
It's all squirrel here.
Thank you, Zachary.
God damn, you guys almost made me spit my beer out.
So sing.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen anything recently on any of the discovery information about what's going on with the research into the Mesopotamia and the Anunnaki stuff that you do?
I have I've done some research into Anunnaki. Well, heard things Anunnaki and whatnot. I didn't hear your entire thing. I think I might be choppy or something.
Nah, it's probably my fan. Sorry.
Oh no, that's all good. Could you repeat the question?
I was going to say, did you hear anything about the research? Is there any new information out about the Anunnaki stuff?
You mean on some of the digs going on?
Yeah.
In the old Mesopotamian plains? Yeah. There's something going on, but they hushed it up real quick. I don't know what's going on because they talked about that they found years ago they found the oh god, I can't remember the name. It was a buried city. They had never even lived in the city. They basically built the city and buried it. And it was coming out that they had found new things, and I heard about it because people were talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. That they were kind of doing a comparison about that, and they found a new city that was similar to that, but it had been lived in. And then I haven't heard anything about it since then. That was a couple months ago that I was catching some things on that. Is that what you meant? What's that?
Sing, who was the dude that was talking shit to you on the other stream? I'm not going to name the other stream, but who was that dude that was talking shit to you on the other stream?
Aaron's? He's our friend.
I found that very disrespectful. I didn't.
Oh, I don't mind. I get a kick out of it.
I didn't appreciate it at all.
No, that's all good. I have fun when we get trolls in there and they come at me. Actually, I'll poke at them to try to get them to come at me. So, yeah. No, don't worry about that. Actually, I enjoy that.
You have hard skin. You don't care. You're like, yeah. Okay.
If anything, I giggle at people that.
Like, I got it. I'm with you on this. Yeah.
So they built the city and buried it.
They give me 1 second. Let me hop on the actual computer here real quick. See if I can find it's it'll take me a minute to get everything powered up here. I got a lot of crud saved on this. I kind of want to do a history thing and have a chat like that too. I think it'd be a blast.
Is this poison ivy?
Leaves of 3, let it be.
So yeah,
no, I don't think that's poison ivy.
It doesn't look like poison ivy. I don't think so. I thought the leaves.
I don't think it's poison ivy. I think it's just a weed.
Speaking of which, fire in the bowl.
Yeah, there you go. It's time for fire in the bowl.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just fucking pull it up. Just spray it out or pull it up. One or the other. Spray it out.
It's not lettuce.
Yeah, just spray it out or pull it up. One or the other. It's not.
Yeah. I just want to get in there with the machete.
I want to shoot one of those damn rabbits eat my lettuce.
There.
No. The midges are quick.
Yeah, they are. They're quicker than the damn dogs. Dogs don't even taste them no more.
Right?
Apex, do you have a weed eater?
I do.
Okay, just weed eat it and get rid of it. It's
but I want to grab it with my hand and think it.
Yeah.
Well, we got baby cucumbers and tomatoes. The potatoes or the potato plants are like almost 3 feet tall. Oakleys popping up. Peppers are going nuts. Squash, zucchini are jamming.
Hey, Wiz, I have like random basil plants coming up all over the yard right now.
Well, hell yeah.
All over the yard.
Start picking.
Whew.
No.
I got basil going, but the oregano and the dill and the sage.
Yeah, I'll leave it to my wife. I don't care. I only mow the grass and edge, and
Almost done with the steak.
yeah, that's all I do.
I forgot about the
So
rice.
it smells like sausage when you mow the yard, huh?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. But
I want to just take a quick notice at my freaking amazing line work on this steak.
no,
There
that
you go.
looks gorgeous. That looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
He's doing that because when I cooked steaks at the house here, when he was here, yeah, they looked that good. Yeah.
It was
trying to make
good.
Wiz, he's trying to make you jealous.
I know, he just tried to show his talent. That's all. It's good to go.
I love my cooking.
Yeah. But you
I
should
gotta
have
go
seen him
take care of the red
drooling
beans
over
and
that.
rice now.
Yeah, but you should have seen him drooling over that smack your mama chicken.
Oh, it was so fun. It was so good. I repeated the recipe here at home.
Yeah. It was, oh, man. You got to slow cook that chicken for like an hour and a half. Get that
Right.
skin crispy, right?
Indirect heat too.
Okay. What timeline do you want to know about what they found? Because actually in 2019 they found a 4,000-year-old one that was in northern Mesopotamia in the Kurdistan area. The one I was talking about, I misspoke. It's actually they found Roman in central Mesopotamia, which is further north than they thought the Romans went, and they found Roman evidence of Roman pillars in a Roman city, and that's the one I was thinking of. Which one were you thinking of? And then in the southern part of the plain,
I just found her.
related
Well, they
to
found-
Enki, the water god.
Right. Or it's the fish. Or something.
And I don't know. They're finding a lot of stuff over there right now. I'm not so sure. We didn't go in there to start a war, so we could go in there and find out what's over there.
Right.
The last 5 years, they've been finding a lot. In the last year or two, they've been finding a crud load of stuff. So I just don't know. And Syria is the same way. Syria, because Syria has a lot of federally protected lands that they can't dig on. And there's a lot of archaeologists that want to dig over there that they were never allowed. And Syria, a lot of people think Syria is more that, well, with the whole Mesopotamian plain, that was the cradle of it in the Syrian portion of the plain. That a lot of people think that's where, you get these 4,000-year-old civilizations and everything. And some people are talking, 5,000-6,000 years old. If they could dig there, they believe it's
Well,
fine.
the main thing, the ones that I'm interested in is the land where the Red Sea is.
Red Sea.
Now, the Red Sea, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep, I'm going to have to look on archaeological today, and I'm not guaranteeing they're going to tell me anything.
The game is back? No, I wasn't aware.
What? What happened?
Actually, the game YouTube channel? Okay.
That's where I left my pie and shit.
Yeah, the Red Sea is projected to be the area before the flood where the four rivers came together.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
Yep. And they were talking about the projections. They said they found the ancient riverbed that are no longer there.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking at topographicals that are showing. This is World News Daily Report. Red Sea archaeologists, and plus they're finding discoveries.
Finding what?
Okay, this is new to me. I haven't seen any of this.
Oh,
Thank
wow!
you.
I thought you were on top of that, bro.
Yeah, this is they're finding Egyptian artifacts way further than Egypt should have been. I mean,
Oh
trade,
no,
yeah, but these are
they were finding some Egyptian artifacts over to like Arizona or some shit.
well, there's a claim that in the actually in Colorado here, in the Grand Canyon, and there are places the Grand Canyon, even if you live around that area, it is off limits. You cannot hike there. You cannot do anything. They've got it locked off around all those caves.
In fact, they got the black helicopter patrols going on that area.
Yep. They got helicopter, they got driving patrols, they got boat patrols that go down the river. They'll cast them down a mile and go back, cast them down a mile. Whatever's there, they ain't playing. They don't want you messing around there. That's what makes it believable to me.
Right.
And it. Oh, sorry. It ain't. You can look online at people going rafting down there. You can raft. You just cannot get off the raft in this like 10-mile range. But they're not like military helicopters. They're the little black Hueys and stuff like that.
Right. Yep.
No,
so
I was.
They're the Huey Scouts. The Huey Scouts are the only ones powerful enough to get over the downdraft there.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I've got it on about 25 minutes.
Okay, there's.
Oh, the Twitch channel of the game? Oh, okay.
All right, so I guess people want to see my hair. I don't know.
TBD, I think your hair is about as long as mine. Maybe a little bit.
I don't care. Whatever.
Hey, Emerald, did you know it was biblical archaeologists that are finding this, that are like pretty much proving the Great Flood? And
yeah, but they're finding out that it's much older than they thought.
Yeah. Well, I still say that I think we got it wrong on. I think when in the Bible it talks about years. Well, you got to think that God would have seen it from the universe, in a rotation, not just the Earth around the sun a year, and we see all that. So, I mean, a lot of that could be, a year to them could be a millennia to us.
Actually, one star is 3,600 years. 3,630 years.
Well, I think most people are actually stupid. And that sounds terrible to say, but a lot of people are actually stupid. And it's that way, right? I mean, it's
mostly just a matter of uninformed.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I think most people are intelligent. They're just there's a basis for ignorance, which isn't stupid. It's just like Emerald said, uninformed.
Yeah,
I think we're all inherently intelligent beings.
I guess stupid was a strong word. I shouldn't have used that.
A little earlier,
but
get on stream, talk to people. Go to bed. That's my night.
Apex? Quit talking with your mouth full, Apex.
Do you know?
Uninformed is a
No,
better.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mute my mic. I'm sorry, guys.
Uninformed is a better way to put it, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of being tactful with your language. You know what I'm saying?
Emerald,
honest
so what specifically about these Red Sea operations, I guess I'll put it, was
Well,
your curiosity about?
you have to understand that they talked about Garden of Eden was
Mhm.
outside of the primary city. And the city was based in the area where the Four Rivers Sea is. Now, after the floods, that area became the Red Sea. And it was flooded and washed from the earth. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, in the tales and in the stories.
Yeah.
They were forced out of Eden.
Yeah, I'm not sure about.
So you're thinking Eden was at the base. Is that the base possibly of the Red Sea
It
then?
was their original base city. Yeah.
Okay. And I know, it makes sense because actually they found the plateau at the crossing where it says Moses parted the Red Sea. But and everybody said, oh, they couldn't have done it. They would have had to walk so deep. But there's actually an underwater plateau in there and they proved at the time due to erosion. I mean, they could, it's a lot deeper now, but at the time it was a solid underwater plateau, no more than 10 meters deep. So,
Right.
It's really interesting that they're starting to prove a lot of this. And I know there's a lot of atheists out there, and I don't mind them. That's probably who TBD was talking about. There was an atheist that was getting a little crabby at me.
Well, that would have been a passage.
I'm not trying to be crabby at you, man.
That would have been a passage from that old city.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Okay. Because they found the pillars on both shores. And they found the remains of all the Egyptian chariots on that ancient road.
Yeah. Chariot wheels lining Red Sea barrier is what this is. And a full chariot axle even.
But what they didn't say was they were on a road under the water.
Nice. Well,
it was actually a stone road underneath those chariots.
You look at Bimini Road.
All right, the Bimini Road, exactly.
There's some that say it's natural, but and I don't know where this went out the window, but it used to be that nature did not make things in straight lines.
No straight lines and no square rectangles that in repeating fashion for 5 miles.
And unless it's a Bimini Road, then that's natural. It's like, what?
Yeah. They don't want to talk about the pyramids under the ocean southwest of Cuba either.
Yep. Cuba.
They don't want to talk about it. There's a whole pyramid city underneath the water there, about 90 feet under.
Yep.
And they don't want to talk about that whatsoever.
Nope. And that was military pinging in that area that found it. It was actually originally the Cuban military, and then we ran ships. It was like basically because Cuba is an American territory. Actually, we own Cuba, and we were proven that no, we control this area. So we were sending people through there, and they decided to ping it, and then it came back, and ours was a lot better.
Well,
and
they did it with submarines.
Yeah, well, and they want to do those drag bots. Have you ever seen those? The ones they can go. They can go thousands of feet down, and they're hooked to the cable on the ship, and they just drag them.
Right.
Yep, they want to do that, but they can't get it to. can't get any permits or anything like that.
Well, they
to
were
do
having
it.
the same problem in the Bahamas, trying to get the original city of Atlantis.
Yeah. It almost makes us wonder. One thing I always wanted to do, take all the pyramids that we know of for a fact, and even take into account Bosnia, that a lot of archaeologists disagree with. It's kind of a controversial thing, the Bosnian pyramid. Take them all into account, put them on a map, and do a reverse tectonic rotation, and let it all come back, and just see at one point, if there is at a point, that they all start to line up on pyramids. I always thought that'd be cool if you could find some sort of scale map that would do,
You can basically
just
plot out the pyramidal scheme, ley line, using the ley lines.
Ley lines, yes.
You can actually plot out where the pyramids are, like all over there. They go to China, Egypt, down through South America, Mexico, everywhere.
Well, in the origin books of the Anunnaki, they talk about how they scanned the earth looking for the minerals that they needed.
Yeah.
And
if you go by that,
then they mapped out the energy systems of the planet, and they chose those locations where the energy was strongest and built their cities.
Yeah.
Hey, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And see, I don't know about, I can't say anything as factual. I can say I've heard things, I've read things and stuff like that. There's just enough there where I think people need to give it more credit and look into it. And that's where I would like to get some sort of, animated model to where the tectonic plates, going all the way back to the original supercontinent, going all the way back, and just seeing if at any time in there they line up. Because there's places right now where even in southern Colorado, there's one where it's got dinosaur footprints in stone, and it would have taken millions of years for this to do. But there is human footprints in that stone too, and they're saying that and these human footprints are like they have almost like a tread on them, like a sandal. And they're saying, well, it's just a natural. They're saying that too, that's just a natural. There was like a bubble in there that just made that. But you look at the stride of it, and it'd be like the stride of a 5'8" person. That's shoe size. When they do all that, it matches up to what a 5'8" person would be. And I don't know. There's just too much going on there. I really wish some archaeologists.
I think that gives credence to the civilization, like our what we perceive as ancient civilization. It's just it's a circle. We're not a linear. We've been here before. We've forgotten. We're like Graham Hancock says. We're a civilization living with amnesia of our past.
That I agree with. I don't agree necessarily with the. I think we are linear. I don't think we're in a full. I know what you mean with the circle, the timeline, the whole. Right. Everything's in a loop and everything. And I mean, it's a neat theory. I enjoy discussing it, but I think it is linear. But I think that there was great civilization, advanced. I'm not talking advanced. You say advanced to a lot of people, and they think jets and cars. It's like, no. They could be advanced in different ways, more crystalline structure stuff, for levitation, whatever. You think about a lot of that. Yeah, exactly. Well, look at some of the stones. A 300-ton monolith that we cannot move now with our equipment. And you're telling me that they moved it with men and ropes?
Yeah, no, there was definitely some sonic technology at that point. It had to have been.
Now, there's another thing. They found remnants around Bosnia or Herzegovina or something like that of a city that got nuked in ancient times.
Yep, with the radioactive fallout.
Yes.
That's similar. It has similar things to what Chernobyl has now. So it says that whatever it was big.
Well, here's the thing. Look at the Hindu Vimanas. Supposedly those were some crazy weapon, and I could see it. I could see it being nuclear powered.
No, those weren't nuclear powered. They
No?
even have the designs in the Verdana showing how they made them, showing what their engines were made of. They actually had the designs in.
Mercury and magnetism, correct?
They said it was a wheel spinning around inside of Mercury.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mercury and
that's that
magnetism,
one.
I think, is what they speculate it was. And actually, here's the kicker. Have you ever
got the red Mercury idea for the Nazi bell?
I'm not sure. Apex, what were you saying, Shane?
But they theorize now. I'm sure you guys have seen those tests that you can watch different scientific tests on YouTube or wherever on the internet. Scientific America. I don't know if any of you geek out at stuff like that. I enjoy it. It's like almost like reading a comic book for me with some of that. But if you read Scientific America or go to their site or something, they have cool videos. And one of their theories is using rare earth magnets, or even pulsating magnets, electromagnets, and mercury that could actually create a bubble that could defy gravity. So it makes that Vimana that much, you talk about that much more believable.
Right. Well, you're also, about the SEG, right?
The what?
The Stirl effect generator.
Is that it's basically a bunch of rings that spin around each other or kind of go through each other.
Yeah, the magnets spin around and then layer by layer, and they eventually create that bubble in space.
Yeah. Sorry, Chad. I'm trying to keep up with chat, but it's rolling through pretty good. I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, singularity. Let me ask you a simple question.
Okay.
A simple question. Do you actually believe this? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Things are the way they are. I mean, it's just the way it is. They're not that hard. You don't have to involve conspiracy theories into it, and
we're not
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, well, who mentioned a conspiracy?
I've got a question for you, brother.
It's just we went to war. We bombed people. They bombed us. Blah, blah, blah. It's not that difficult to figure out, right? It's just
completely lost me.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going with this or where he came from in the first place. Yeah.
No,
there's anomalies throughout history that beg for study, is what we're saying.
Okay. My question for you is, with as many crayons as you eat, how are you so damn smart? I have to know.
I'm just good at BSing. It's with this stuff. It's something I enjoy. I've always enjoyed history. I've always enjoyed, like I was talking about, those anomalies that don't add up.
Oh, nothing's better than a good conspiracy theory.
I like it. I like it also. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy going down the rabbit hole. At the same time, I don't believe it.
We're not talking about, but me and Singh haven't been talking about conspiracy theories. We're talking about history.
No. Yeah.
geological anomalies that point to something else was there. TBD, Bimini Road. What do you think of that?
Say again.
Bimini Road, the road in the Virgin Islands that goes off and then down into the ocean and just keeps going and basically disappears.
Well,
what's your opinion on that?
About that? I've never heard of it, so I can't speak of it.
So you don't know about the 500-mile you know about the singularity? Have you heard or done any reading on the they found these like the St. Lawrence waterways. What do they call those? Canals.
Sure.
The canals in South Georgia. Northern Florida.
Yeah, they're okay. Now this is cool, and this is actually history.
I'm not sure about it. So let's hear
either Azteca. It would have to be Azteca, or there was possibly a completely different tribe around that time. In North America, I presume this is what you're talking about, but they're finding ruins that they were literally draining swamps through some of these canals, and they had cities and some of the mountains they have, but these are all national forest land and people are not allowed in there. But there's speculation right now with what has come out of there and what's found. Most archaeologists say it was probably a small break-off of the Azteca people of Mexico, of southern Mexico. And it could have been, but there's another group, and it's a growing group, that think that you had the Incans, the Aztecas, and then you have possibly another one that we don't know about that was in the Americas in the southeast.
So the Oma, what was it? The Oma?
The
black race, North and South America.
What? So
the black race.
Wiz, and am I out of line? Should I leave this conversation, or am I?
Just listen.
No, not for me.
Okay.
Just listen and know we're talking from research.
Okay.
I'm
not trying to be an asshole here. I'm just.
But just listen and learn.
In my opinion, that's even fine because it gives that discourse to where we could go back and forth. Trust me, it's very hard to get under my skin. I know some of my ideas are out there. I know, things like that. And I don't know everything, but I'm one of those people that I just want to know. There's too many things that don't add up, so I don't want to know. But there could be something with the discourse where you bring it up. It's like, okay, I didn't think of that. I'll have to throw that in there and rethink it. So heck no. In my opinion, keep
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, see, we don't know what got lost when the asteroid hit Earth and destroyed the Atlanteans. We don't know what was on that land before it became a whole ocean.
And don't really know how long how long the Earth was made before God put Adam and Eve on it.
Aaron,
don't know how many years he allowed just animals to be on the earth before Adam and Eve came.
Right. I agree with that. And even the flood, you think of, species that we don't even know about that were left behind. There's mythological species we talk about and everything like the Pegasus, the unicorn and stuff like that. And it's really amazing, actually. Most of those were passed through generation to generation about, different things. And they were adaptive, you gain a little, just like you all have played that game with us in a circle. You give a phrase to the first kid, he whispers it in the next kid's, and then you go around and they keep just whispering it to the next kid on the phrase. And by the time it gets to the end, it's different. But a lot of these
not what it started out as.
Exactly. But a lot of these, that's why I believe every myth came from some sort of truth, because it all started somewhere. So we might not have it exactly right, but a lot of these mythos, I believe, have accuracy and everything. So
right, they're like comic, they're like the comic book, like the stories we tell, the legends. The Giants, remember Jack and the Beanstalk with the Giants? He was fighting the Giants.
Yep.
I got you.
And it's really weird that you guys are talking about this tonight, because a couple nights ago, my mom started saying it seems really weird that when you watch the kids' cartoons, it seems like the cartoon things that they put out for the kids, when you look into it and check the Bible, they're pulling it from the Bible. Like the 7-headed dragons and all this kind of stuff. It's written in the Bible.
Especially some of the older cartoons. There was a lot of biblical crossovers. Yep.
Yep. Well, remember the old cartoons used to have that little thing at the end where they told you the moral of the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
They don't do that.
G.I. Joe was the main one.
See, I grew up with G.I. Joe.
Oops.
Who's the show brought to you by? Sausage Gravy. The
Sausage Biscuit Gravy, Dad.
Hey,
Fire in the bowl.
hey, Kimmy. I want to speak to Kimmy. Kimmy is a smart person. I want to speak to Kimmy. Kimmy.
Yes.
Tell me about your situation.
I got a raw joint. I'm glad you got that.
What do you mean, my situation?
Like your this last couple months.
Dude, Kimmy gonna beat you over the head with a fucking beat.
No, Kimmy ain't violent.
No, she's not.
That was a long time ago.
Aaron, fuck you.
Kimmy.
I give you this, Aaron. No.
I want to put a disclaimer.
What they're talking about,
Kimmy, I got sick fat.
I like Kimmy. I like Kimmy a lot.
Kimmy's good people.
On what everybody's been talking about the last couple months, or for the month, or what?
Kimmy.
I'm already lost.
Kimmy. Sick fat got me started.
Well, he asked me about what
obligation.
Lost in this gravy.
I'm trying to figure out what he wants to know about.
I agree, Carpenter. I agree completely, and that's what I was going to put in there. A disclaimer, real quick. I have a feeling I'm not going to have much of a chance to talk, so I'm going to say it fast. But a disclaimer that none of us are saying any of this is exactly accurate. We're just saying that there's anomalies out there that are really fun to study and to look into. So, and that's my opinion of it. It's just really fun to look into. A lot of the stuff really neat. And you never know. If we don't study it, we'll never know the actual facts behind it. And that's what scares me with science and everything right now. It's become fact instead of the best theory we have at the time, which is what science is supposed to be. And even Albert Einstein, he was scared that we would start determining everything as concrete fact in science. And it wasn't. It was best guess at the time. And archaeology and stuff is a science. So they need to keep digging and keep looking, but they come up with these, and they believe they're concrete answers. And I think Kimmy and Emerald and I are on kind of the same page where we see these anomalies and we want to look into them and figure it out and find out what it's about.
So,
and that's my opinion.
So where where do you get these?
What?
Where do you get these things where you can project the?
You can go on it. You mean have information about it?
Yeah. Where do you get
Okay.
it? Do you
Go
are
on.
you a professor or
Go on
something?
Amazon.com and look through their books, and then you find archaeological studies, and then you look for kind of just different. And these are actual archaeologists. They're just not a top seller because they don't follow the mainstream idea, but they base everything on what they found, what they saw, and their analysis. If it's different than
No,
what everybody else says is the norm, then
in general, did you get a college degree for archaeology or?
did
Well,
I?
in that field of study, in that field of study, there's really no guideline for curriculum. Those are just, I mean, to be honest with you, they're discovery.
Yeah, of
Hey,
course.
Wizard.
Yeah.
I think
I have a guest here at my home.
he's a smart guy.
It's my brother-in-law,
Smart guy, obviously.
who
So
is the director of SETI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's legit over there right now, guys.
Yeah, he's over at the house right now. Yeah,
And you're on the stream, I'd be all over picking his brain.
I already did that.
What do you think I'm doing tomorrow, Liz?
Right?
I guess I'm fucking.
Hey guys, I gotta go. Andrew is requesting my presence.
Yeah, I'd be all about talking with him. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Plus he's smashed right now. So secret.
Record it. Record it.
Bro, I
Make
can
a
be
video.
over there. We can unlock the universe.
Yeah, well, yes, we'll do that. How's that?
You know it. I look forward to it, brother.
All right, so it'll be like secret sleuth shit. Here we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
All right.
We'll do a private stream and check it out.
Yeah, all right. Got
Rock on. Yeah.
it.
Hey,
It's on.
Hey,
And
Emerald.
you can pop it on tomorrow night's show.
Okay, what
Can
thing?
you put a
guys
link
would
up?
eat him alive. You guys would eat him alive.
Could you put a link up for Carpenter?
No, I'm gonna just go out. I'm gonna go silent, but I'm gonna go in there. So I'll be back.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
just gonna-
You guys phone volume down.
Here we go. And then make sure to do that. And stop cam.
Stuff.
All right, now singularity.
Definitely come up, Carpenter. He just watched a video on a lot of this.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I like Carpenter. He's a good
Yeah.
chatter.
Yeah, no,
Carpenter is my brother.
you say about me being smart on all the. No, I'm not. I don't do no kind of research or anything because I can't read. I listen and put it through my own head and go through it myself through my own brain and remember stuff that I've heard in church and things
Oh
that
my
have
goodness.
been read to me through at church and stuff, and that's how I figure
Hey,
stuff
everybody.
out.
What? Zachary is in here. What's up, Zachary?
I'm going to make Kay Alice the maid.
What's up, brother?
Oh my God, Aaron's in here again.
Yeah. Zachary is in here.
Where I come from.
8, 9, 10.
I like
We're at full
Zachary.
capacity on panel.
Zachary likes talking shit.
I imagine myself.
I always
I'm
love
like, yeah,
people that like to talk shit. And
I watched a video last night on this exact thing. You guys want to hear what that guy's theory was?
Absolutely.
Yes.
This guy says that, you know how the Bible says that we're all if we all don't act a certain way, you know, we're all going to burn in hell, and God will come down and do whatever, you know what I mean, burn the earth and
You
all
don't
that.
see no evil.
Okay,
You
this
don't
guy.
hear no evil. You don't see no evil. You're gonna burn in.
Thank you. Go for it, Kurt.
Yeah, this guy's theory was that there's so much of the Bible missing, and he was really smart. He talks about a bunch of the stories in the Bible. You can tell he studies what he's doing. He claims that God's warning wasn't to us, the believers, wasn't to us, the Christians. God's warning was for the people, the devil worshippers, the Satanists. That if they don't change their ways, if they don't do what they're going to do, that it wasn't us that's going to burn in hell. It's them that are going to burn in hell.
And I believe,
but he claims that there's so much missing text in the Bible, and he thinks that that's what it is. They pulled out the stuff that explains who God's word's directed towards.
Could you link
so that it looks like it's us that's, you know, like it's us that should be following this thing when it's them that God's telling to follow this thing. And he goes into it pretty in detail. It was really interesting. It's just kind of amazing that this came up tonight, because I sat and watched it, but you know, I'm not a well Bible read guy, so I can't give facts or nothing. But he just claims that it's been flipped around. This guy claims it's been flipped around, that it's not the Christians that are in danger. It's the Satanists, and they know they're going to crash, they're going to lose, they're going to burn, and that if we find this out, then they have no chance at all.
And school, it does to an extent, but they also discuss Christians that fall away or something like that.
Exactly.
God's always forgiving, always takes you back. So I think that's what that guy was talking about. I'd like to listen to that. If I know how to, that's one of the few things I would have pulled up and put away if I knew how to pick it up and put it away. Do you remember the guy's name?
No, I was laying here at night about half asleep when he started talking, and his voice was really calming. And then as I was sitting here, because I have Tinel real bad, so I leave it on just low enough I can't understand him, but it still makes noise. Well, it was just noisy enough that I could understand what he was saying. The more he talked, I reached over and turned it up and started listening to him. And he claims that it's been flipped. He claims that it's the opposite of that's what they've hidden, is what God said he's going to do to the Satanist and the evil on the earth. And they've hidden that and left it in and left everything just in a place so that it looks like it's what God said he's going to do to us. The believers, the Christians, the faithful,
or those who fall away a little bit, but they come back.
Or I don't even want to say Christians. I want to say the faithful to God. You know, the Father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And see, and in my belief, I don't believe a person that is a good person. I believe that even if they don't believe, but if they're a good person, treat everybody good, do good things, you know, and stuff like that, I think they will get their chance in the pearly gate. And a lot of Christians think that they're doomed to hell if they're, you know, it doesn't matter if they're a good person.
Yeah, for the good.
Yeah, I agree with you, Seeing. I believe he's the ever loving.
Being that he's the devil,
exactly.
surely burning. That's my best fucking Amish accent. That's all you're getting.
Don knows all about InfoWars. And he won't push me.
What are you talking about, Aaron?
About InfoWars.
We're not on InfoWars
We're not talking about
right
InfoWars.
now. We're talking about the Bible and talking about
end time
things that
man's interpretation of the Bible.
Yeah.
That's what we're discussing. And this guy says that enough text was left out that they've changed the interpretation around to suit them. Basically, that's what he said. To suit their purposes.
They only covered 8 of the apostles, right?
Yeah, I mean, I see that. Now, I'm not that smart. I don't know any of that stuff, but I just know that it kind of everything them fuckers do. Excuse me. Everything those people do are opposite.
I love you, Don.
You know, oh, we're going to fix the roads. No, you're not. You're going to, you know, scam the money off and give it to your buddies. Everything they say is everything they do is the opposite. So why wouldn't
Everything has to be a
this
lie.
be the opposite
That
too?
sounds like California with their supposed weed laws, with the giving it back to schools and roads and shit. No, it's going in the government's pocket, yo.
Yeah, it's everything with them. There's nothing with them that isn't a money laundering scam. Nothing.
Or a lie. Everything has to be a lie.
Yeah, exactly. And when after you get lied to enough time, I'm to the point now where the first thing I look at is I listen to what they say, and then I quick jump on the other side and look at it from the opposite direction. And more often than not, truthfully, time's shown that that was the way it was. Not that I was right, but that was the way it was. It was the opposite of what they were saying. I mean, you can't believe anything they say. You can't
It's like
believe
the
anything.
Patriot Act.
Well, see,
Yeah,
and that's the
exactly.
difference between faith and the church.
Exactly. You know,
Many
how many
times
times
in the
people
past, the church has, manipulated it to do that. And that's the unfortunate thing. I think if a person has a relationship with God, they're good. And I follow more, Jesus teachings. That's my main focus in life. But going back to Emerald about some of the books, we all know of the Congress of Constantine. He was pagan. He switched over to Christianity. They developed, they actually had all the top. They were teachers, but they weren't called rabbis at the time. They were spiritual teachers and everything, but they're the heads of each of the divisions of the church, and they all got together and chose which books would be in there. And they actually even left out a book of Levi, or part of the book of Levi, that showed Mary in a positive light, not as a prostitute, but as a very close confidant of Jesus. They left out the Gospels of Mary and stuff like that. So there are things that, and there's a big controversy here. And this is why I get into a lot of trouble, because I'm like Sacred Rights. He said he's read a lot of the passages of the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that, and other Bibles too. And I think there's a bigger story if we put it all together and everything. And a lot of people, I get chastised by, I'm Catholic, and I really get chastised by the Catholics and Southern Baptists and most Christians get mad at me because
Brim and Hail Fire and all that shit.
Oh yeah, they come at me just for being Catholic.
Fire from the sky.
Yeah. But since I question it, they think, okay, this is why Catholics are evil. It's like, no, I get in trouble by Catholics too. I mean, for questioning things like, okay, it just seems incomplete. I mean, our God is a loving God. In my opinion, he's a loving. Yes, he can bring down fire and rain it on, the evil and everything, but he won't do it on his followers. I think bad things that happen are the opposite. It's not God doing it. It's, pestilence and stuff like that are I don't believe in hell the same way as others do, and that'd be a long conversation. One that Pat and I had actually a long time ago we got into a deep discussion about this, but I don't believe in it in the same way, so I can't really say it's the devil, but the evil energy, or the negative energy, I think causes that. And we are his children, so he will make us learn from our mistakes.
Well, have you ever read the passages of Mu?
The passages of Mu? Hold up.
No, this is not the bovine order thingy you got going on. This was the land that was existed. No, these were records that were found with the Emerald tablet.
Right.
Okay, and they didn't know what to call it because it really wasn't a book. It was more like a history lesson kind of thing. And they talk about the land of Mu, M-U. Okay, and this was the original place where the Tree of Life existed. And the Tree of Life was a series of energy points, where the priests and all that stuff gathered, and those of like mind gathered around him. and they had like a colony kind of thing. And this was the life establishment of Earth or something like that. Did you ever read about that Singularity?
I have not, but I would like a link to read about it. Like I say, anything I can get my hand on, that would be great.
When I saw it, it was in a.
That's a cute picture of you. Okay.
Yeah. When I saw it, it was an animated kind of situation, but it was being narrated. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Carpenter, come back! He's like, you guys are losing me, man. Land of Moo.
Skull says moo, not moo.
Well, there was a race of black people that lived in the northern sections of South America. I believe it was the Oman, they call them.
Yeah.
Okay. They're darker skin, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had the big lips, and they had the flat noses.
But they were actually they considered them the precursors to the Incans, right? They think they actually built those cities, and the Incans just kind of moved into them, possibly.
Possibly, right? But
if I'm thinking of the right ones.
But they had to find all those orbs and the giant sculptures of their faces.
Yeah.
But they don't have.
Those orbs are weird. Those orbs are unexplainably weird.
I'll go.
Right.
Yeah.
You mean those granite orbs?
Explain
Right?
the orbs.
Yeah.
Did you want to explain them, Emerald, or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Are you
Go
talking about the little ones or the big ones?
These things were the size like 4 and 5 feet round.
Excuse me?
Yes, and the statues of their heads were like 10 feet tall, and they're just the statues of their heads, and it had the black man's face, on them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You are watching the Great American Experience.
I love it.
But they don't know where.
Same thing.
They're finding all kinds of artifacts in these places about this race, but they don't have any. There's no writing. There doesn't appear to be any records or anything.
Wow. So that kind of goes back to the we're civilization living with amnesia concept.
Potentially, but maybe it was just so old that we don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any recollection. We have no records.
Right. Hey, buddy.
So, does he say aliens or future travelers?
Right now, he's bawling his eyes out because he's here at our house where his mother had passed away on Super Bowl Sunday. So I can't undo that door. Okay.
I'm sorry.
But it's understandable. It's understandable. I mean,
yeah.
So prayer out for mom. You know what I mean? That's what I was about to say.
Oh, shit. All right. Singh says he'll be back in 5 minutes. He's got to recharge his phone.
Okay. What's up,
Okay, Zach?
Go ahead.
Apex. Yeah, Kay and I hung out April 23rd. Hoping to spend this weekend with her because I freaking miss her.
Ah, nice, brother.
That's awesome. Got my player shirt on.
There's
Luke.
Luke. There's a battery power.
That when you get around all these little monsters.
Hey guys, look at what I'm doing.
Okay, you've been doing quite a few videos while you've been driving, huh?
So I've been drinking?
No, while you've been driving.
Oh, driving?
Yeah, driving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Either that or my
yeah. Oh yeah, like
that big rock I pulled out.
a lot of videos has been popping up on my Facebook of you driving a car and stuff, unless my Facebook is that far behind.
Highly doubt that. Hey, so Wizard, what do you think of the new camera?
I do.
Much better.
I try to do the live. I do it there, like quick.
Okay.
It even has a little slide. Whoop.
Oh, check you out, all fancy and shit.
Boop. Hey, for $29 on Amazon for a 4K camera with Sony focus and the whole 9 yards, yeah, it's good. Very good.
Mike sounds a whole lot better too.
Doing the excavation here.
Hey, Wizard, so you know, we also set up the station for Chris. So Chris can always.
There you go.
And camera. To stream anywhere. Here we go.
Now you need a background.
Oh, that's already been ordered.
Yeah, Zach.
Well, it's a better background than what it was before with all the garbage. But you can see the garage has been straightened up.
Yeah.
On. So.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, hold on a second. Zach, go ahead.
Go ahead, Zach.
I'll attack them, Kay, with croc dusters if they are ornery.
There you go.
But yeah, so you got the garage all hooked up and everything, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, hey, Wizard, you want to see the amazing part? Even Chris didn't even notice it, but
Hey,
no wires.
anybody know what causes this?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no wires.
Helium.
Not enough water.
I don't think so. Look at all that water.
Ooh.
They're in water.
Oh, I have no idea, bro.
They usually perk right back up after the sun goes down. Look at this. Artichoke. But it's not going to produce first year. Oh, these peas. Potatoes. My peas and potatoes are doing awesome. But you see what my excavation? Not this one. I got a bigger project than this going on right now. Didn't quite finish that one either. I hope I finish this one. This one will give me a new workshop. Right now I'm digging up the outside of it.
Yeah, there you go.
This is giving me my pallet shed. I'm going to build a standard floor on it, but the wall is going to be pallets. But I was digging it out with a shovel because I couldn't get the rototiller started. Neighbor came over, got it started, and I did all that in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we got a guest. There's Kay. I found a Kay. Hi, Kay.
So what's going on? What's going on, Kay?
I just put some stuff in the back chat. Can you see both of those links or no?
Hey, Kay.
Ow. Don't say hey to him.
That's
He's
it.
just a dirty old man.
Oh wow,
Just-
yeah, I see those links, but I don't have the bandwidth to propagate them.
Nor do
So,
I,
have
nor
you seen
do you.
stuff?
I haven't seen them yet. No.
Okay,
As
so
far
the
as
Spartans
2017,
document
I've seen that one.
is 201.
Oh,
You know what?
man, I
201
do not like him.
Yep.
Okay, so the SPARS document lays out everything that I don't know. Maybe Zach screen share
Right,
that,
got a case of
and
Corona.
we can pull it up that way.
They don't need no stinking vaccine. I got Corona.
Hey, at least it's not Corona Light.
No, Corona. I got
Oh wait,
extra.
that's what the flu was. The flu was Corona Light. Who remembers influenza, guys?
Yeah, light
What do you call
beer
it?
is gross.
Coronavirus twice. Those sickies.
I really
Yeah.
need to change the speed on this guitar.
I just wanted to stop in and say hi.
Hi.
I got to go to work in the morning. So I'll have to get off the
Well, thanks for
StreamYard.
showing us your garden. Yeah, that was cool. Thanks for showing us your garden and shit.
Yeah, well, the big thing is that the big dig. I did a video on the start of it.
Yeah.
And Michelle already commented on it. With 5 minutes of posting it. I call it the big dig.
Right.
The ground is so full of sequoia roots.
You're not playing nothing.
I was actually, but I'm quiet about it. I'm the background noise.
Yeah, he's playing quietly.
Dave, you need to get yourself a capo so we can do dueling banjos.
I have to do a quick video tomorrow.
Zach is sharing.
Hang on, Dave.
Are you?
Dave, hold on. You gotta turn your mic down, bro. That's so loud. Hold on. I got you. Hang on.
Actually,
All right.
can't leave.
Play it
How's
again.
that? How's that?
Actually, plug in.
Yeah, I posted those links so people can go to those and check them out also.
Yeah, I'll check it out, but I have to do it off of StreamYard.
Yeah, it says.
Sorry about that.
All right, man.
Oh, Zach's. Oh, guys.
What's up, Zach?
Yeah, I shared it. I set it up there, but yeah, we're not going to go over that on stream. We're
I think you might
not going to be
share
going over that on the screen because we keep getting shut down because of medical misinformation when we talk about that shit.
Yeah. That's true.
If you know what I mean.
But thank you, Zach.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I hope I didn't lock the keys in there.
Yeah.
Jay, are you
everybody
like
should
out?
check those links out because information.
Locked up the shed. I think I put the keys in there.
Liz, what was
So
that,
I gotta
brother?
be cutting the lock off tomorrow.
Say what?
What were you saying, bro?
I was saying,
I got this.
yeah. Go ahead. There you go. Kay was saying something. She was wanting us to put that up on screen, and I'm like, I'm kind of iffy about putting that up there because I don't want to get any more channels shut down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that would suck. We don't need that.
Yeah, they gigged us for medical misinformation, and they didn't provide any example or any segment or time slot or nothing. They just said medical misinformation, talking about fucking stars and shit.
Well, you know what, Wiz? You can always say, listen, one of our members is a doctor.
No, it doesn't do any good because those doctors that are talking about it are getting banned out of their shit too.
Hey guys, I'm gonna back out for tonight. Dad's still here.
Yeah, that
so
came straight from the CDC site.
Yeah, okay, bud.
Yep. So I'll see you guys in a bit. I'll see you guys later.
All right.
I'm gonna hop off because I gotta go get ice.
Tell him you love him. That'll fuck him up.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Hi, TBD. Hi, Zach.
Yeah, I keep thinking about Apex's situation with his dad and shit. I'm like, you know what? Tell him you love him. Give him a hug. That'll fuck him up for days.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's two different people. Like I was over there just a little bit ago, friendly as all can be, you know.
Right.
But not the same when the door is closed. He's an angry, you know. So,
Angry beaver. Yep.
Yeah. So that's sad. So unique living situation, I guess you want to call it over there. So
yeah. Hey, Dave. I was talking to Apex. I told him to ask you. Maybe you could help him out with getting a motorhome or a camper trailer kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that that way he could be where he wants to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't be an issue with somebody ruling his roost.
Oh no, I told him you can come across the street. We got so many acres. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pull up. Water's out there. Everything's out there. You just got to plug up to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I told him he's got to get the hell out of there. I mean, he's paying rent, but he's still living with his parents technically. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and they're still treating him like he's 12. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That part I get. More to the story from what I've been told, but I don't ask, don't tell. You know what I mean?
Right. But if he had a small motorhome, you know, or something like that, that would be all he really needs.
Well, here's what's really funny is that he found one for $1,200. $1,200. It's an old, it's an 84, but it's made off the Econo line, you know, Ford van. You know,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I told him $1,200. I go, you know, we could work something out. You know what I mean? You know,
right. He could make payments to you for whatever if he had to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rent like a lot space at a trailer park. You just go ahead and park. You get water, electricity, and usage, and internet, high speed. I mean, 1 gig network. You know, the whole 9 yards, and then plus you toss in your payment for your vehicle, and that would be probably cheaper than what you're giving your dad.
A whole lot cheaper, yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, he just needs a good mobile solution so he can be wherever he needs to be, you know?
Yeah, and it won't matter if he needs to stay a week or two because he's got his home with him.
Right. He doesn't have to take up space in somebody's place, you know?
Right. I mean, and Walmart's never reject you parking and going to sleep. You can even tell the security guys to wake you up if you want. You know what I mean? I did that on the trip all the way from Seattle, just last week and a half ago, something like that, 2 weeks ago, whatever. But I mean, there was once I couldn't get a hotel room for shit. So I found the local Walmart and parked the damn truck there. Security guy came by and he goes, "You gonna be sleeping?" I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "I gotta be back up by 6." He goes, "I'll be here. I'll tap on the window." Pretty cool.
Right. I just want to make sure you're not there something subversively.
Yeah. No, I'm in a moving van from Indiana.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere, which North Dakota is absolutely the middle of fucking nowhere. So, each exit's like 12 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles. You break down and there's nobody on those damn highways. I mean, I think I saw one car every 15 minutes. So, it's funny. But yeah, he just needs something like that, and that would free him up and do that. But like I said, I only listen to it. I don't say anything.
Right.
I don't air his laundry.
Yeah. I keep telling him. I keep telling him, don't deal with the problems. Work on the solutions.
Right. Or just call him balls out right to his face and say, "What the fuck do you want?" I mean, that would be me.
Right.
Hey, I did it to my own old man when he was alive. Fuck, he was lucky. He was lucky he was old because of what he said about at the time when I was freshly married. That kind of thing. He said some pretty shitty things about her, and I almost decked him, but I wasn't going to jail over him. You know what I mean? So he was, but what do you want? That's all I ever asked my dad. What do you want? Let's get to the point. You know what I mean? There's a problem or there's a solution. Which one do you want?
Right.
Which one do you want? Because for every problem, it's just the solution hasn't been found yet. That's all. You just got to figure it out. So.
Well, I'm thinking a mobile living solution
would be the best thing. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're absolutely.
Right. That way he can figure out. Where he wants to be and where he needs to be and all that jazz.
He can get a PO box. You know what I'm saying? He could have his mail sent here. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, no big deal. But yeah, he needs to. I think his dad. I don't know. It's a weird relationship, I guess you would say, because if you walk up on it like how I always do, it looks like they're hanging out best of friends. You know what I mean? But he's also sober at that time when I'm coming over. You know what I mean? So
yeah, right.
So, at the same time, I said, "Chris, you're a 33, 34-year-old man. You need to cut your umbilical cord. You know what I mean? Stop letting them run your life. Pretty simple." And if your dad doesn't think you're fucking around, go ahead and leave. And then he gets stuck with the full fucking mortgage and not paying it off and paying this and paying that for the money you give him. Whatever. It's like,
right.
Hey, see you later. I'm not dealing with this no more. And don't write me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want control of this back. I want control of that back. And I want control of this back.
Well, I probably wouldn't say anything to him. Get the motor home, pack it up, and then write him a letter.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I heard a thump upstairs, so I'll be right back.
All righty. I hope it's not something crazy.
No. It should be fine. It's just, it's sad times upstairs. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll be back.
So, what's up, Zach? What's on your mind tonight, man? You lost the stream.
I'm back, Wiz, if you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I'm going to start the cam back up for me.
Yeah, we're waiting for Zach. He was typing in something.
Yeah, my dog Dex is, hey, Dex, come here. Come over here. Look at the camera. Look up there. Okay. He's a good boy. He herds my chickens. Not kidding. If the chickens get out, I look at him, he looks at me, I go, put him back. And then he runs around and chases each one into the pen. You ain't going. And now I got her. Come here. That's the other one. Here comes, come here, you. And the troublemaker. Yes. She herds chickens too. These two dogs herd chickens. So, and by the way, peanut butter whiskey, I'll tell you what, Zach and Wiz and Kim, this is the shit. Holy crap, this stuff is awesome. I've never had this kind of whiskey. Tastes just like drinking peanut butter.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'll get the bottle. It is not expensive. It's actually pretty smooth for a whiskey. You know what I'm saying? And the peanut butter flavor, whatever magic they put inside this, well, it tastes like you're drinking liquid peanut butter, and you can feel a little bit of the alcohol, but it's pretty damn strong.
Sounds like it'd go good with some cream to cocoa.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Come up here. Here, you sit in my place. Here, we'll put the camera on you, and you start talking. Tell them all about the chickens. Look at her. She knows. Look at the camera. Look at all those people. See
hey.
See?
What's going on?
Yeah, her name is Cupcake.
Hey, what's up, Cupcake?
Okay, Zach.
Go ahead, Zach.
You ready?
Go ahead, Zach.
Just got done doing a podcast before jumping on here. We did a podcast on Operation Lockstep and the Rockefellers.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, that needs to be brought out. Yep, because that's all about exactly what's going on right now.
That's what, oops, there goes the camera. No, that's what, all the things that are happening. What's happening is the 1%ers just got smacked in the face because all the shit is coming around. So the big plan is now out in the open. Holy crap. And it was really funny to watch Jon Stewart the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the only reason why he kept going and not stopping, because he knew the moment he stopped talking, the liberalist left, who wants to appease the news media, would have cut him off, as you've seen him trying to change the name of the actual name of the building. It's like Wuhan, Wuhan, something, COVID, whatever center.
Respiratory stuff, yeah.
Yeah, infectious respiratory, testing ground facility. It's like, yeah. So all those, YouTube, all these schmucks, I have not had a bad word to say about this place. This is awesome. I'm very appreciative of them, but they need to stop being the, I forgot what the term is. The Nazis used to do it a lot, but there's a control where you literally control the language, and if this is a free pass, in fact, it's even worse. You pay money for this.
Yeah.
So I pay for this service. If I want to fry a bologna sandwich on camera, I should be able to. If I want to say bologna was injected with all these things, I should be allowed to, because them to make a medical claim, the only way I would accept the rejection is if it was done by a certified or medical practitioner.
Right.
for me, I have a degree in biochemical engineering. So I have an advantage in my bachelor's. And that's, whatever. That situation. The best way.
Well, I have an associate's degree in paramedicine. I have a bachelor's in business administration. I have a master's in computer science.
Yes, I have my bachelor. I had my FUNSI one. My FUNSI one was an associate's degree in construction occupations, which was awesome. But then I got my associates in mathematics, and then I went on to biochemistry. Got the bachelor's and my BS in biochemistry, and then went into the service. Got out of the service. Found a new love for law. So went ahead and went to Loyola Law School, did 3 years, and then in between, when websites were $20,000 a website, I jumped on board that bandwagon, and I was making more damn money doing what I was doing with computers than I was with that. So I kind of got a master's in jurisprudence, which is awesome. There goes the dogs. Probably going to go chase a coyote again. And then, no, they will. And then I've got my my PhD in quantum mechanical programming. So basically, it's a computer science degree, but it's in quantum physics. So I do quantum writing and reading, which is kind of neat.
Wow.
Similar
state algorithms.
Yeah, similar state algorithms. That's what we call them. Meaning, it's not a yes or a no. It's a yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah, string theory.
Bingo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely bingo. So, the how do I phrase it? I am the Matrix in the sense of the way my mind looks at this stuff now. So, which is kind of cool. But you guys were when you guys were earlier on your philosophical quest, I had written a formula to which my brother-in-law currently challenged me on, but they stole that from my paper that I wrote for my doctorate. And so, but in my paper, in my equation, I was able to manipulate data, and I was able to, in the sense of the size of it, so it was kind of like inner space. I was able to take a small space and blow it up to a level which it's incomprehensible with it just being. I've got 1 terabyte micro SD cards for my phone. You know what I mean?
Micro dimension.
Huh?
Micro dimension.
Yeah, the little micro SDs, the little itty bitty memory chips.
Well, I'm just saying the theory, micro dimension.
Yes, correct. Well, there is space in between space. It always is. So.
Right, and there is no solid matter, just motion.
Correct. Frequency.
Correct. Yeah, frequency of motion, but it is motion that creates mass.
Okay, correct. Which is based and bound by electrical wavelengths.
Correct.
So,
in other words, microscopic black holes create everything. Yeah, I got the theory. Yeah, but me and Singularity earlier were talking about this stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Me and Singularity were talking about this stuff because he gets into it for hobby. I was going into it for PhD in creation science.
Right. Well,
I was trying to get back to the technology of creation.
Correct.
Well, yeah.
What I was going to mention is, sorry, fact checkers, you can look it up. What was it? 2001 Stanford University. You can look up my name, David McGuigan. You can go ahead and read my paper. So,
so I ran into a bunch. Well, my thing was we have a lot of similarity in research, so we keep talking about that kind of thing. But I mean, I even went besides historical. I went metaphorical, and also went alternative culture kind of situations. And then you have the alternative reality
Well,
potential.
let me tell you in my little PhD, the formula that I created analyzed about 7,000 different aspects of the universe all in one equation. And so simple, it can be used for pretty much anything. And what was really funny is that I came up with a hypothesis based on the math, and which is still being argued to date. So, argued. There's people in the scientific circle right now arguing my argument. But based on my equation and based on my formula, time, we always say irrelevant. They try to show us in different ways the way time works and all that stuff. But what it really boils down to is that the beginning and the end have already happened. All of the in-betweens are currently happening. So we are in that flash moment. So the universe went like this and went like that. We're living in between that start and finish in that micro moment. That's pretty much where we're at. And that means that everything is predestined, even the alternate realities created from the alternate combinations to infinity. And all of those are always inside that bubble. What I always want to say is, what's outside the bubble? Everybody asks, what's outside the bubble? Well, based on what my theory is that we live in a universe of frequencies and quantum frequencies as well. And within the quantum realm and within the quantum frequency realm, hypothetically, we are, quote unquote, part or an example or an expression of a consciousness. That's
right.
What we are. We are the conscious reality of everything.
Thought is the creator.
Yes, everything and anything. So now, in what I've been working on for the last 20 years, which is math, is that technically, which I don't know if they figured it out yet or not, it's one of my things, but technically, if I would happen to know the absolute, and it has to be the absolute frequency of any point in space. So in other words, every microscopic, quantum, and physical and non-physical, dark matter, all that kind of stuff, all within that realm, there are frequencies constantly going. So string theory is correct. However, string theory is not correct because it really boils down to the frequency to which our atoms and protons and neutrons and all of them are
right. The basis of its beginning, correct. Which will also be the basis of its end.
Right. Because if you really think about it and just keep it on the dumbest level you can, the big question should be, why do all the particles want to stay in this form when they're not bound by anything technically
other than
thought? So the old cantered phrase, if you will it, it will be, is a very true statement. So you can forge through the frequencies and actually create your own frequencies if you think about it hard enough. So the Bible is kind of a manifestation of I call it a simplistic view of what was going on, at the time. They can't explain it all. 900 years for Moses, time was irrelevant. They didn't have a fucking clock. You know what I mean? So, but
right. They had the moon, they had the stars,
there's your clock. Oh, Thomas's erection is at 2:00. We are right. It's 2:00. That's the strength. No, it doesn't work like that. But what I was trying to get at is that we are thought. Every one of us. We are each one of us. Everything alive, dead, whatever, doesn't matter. Inanimate, whatever, is an expression individually, every pebble of that one thought. That's it.
Yep.
So my 20 years has been dedicated to find out how to move through that thought And the way to move through that thought is if you break it down to frequency, if you can get to the absolute frequency of a location anywhere in the known universe and wherever else there may be, you could technically, if you vibrated your own body's frequency to match that frequency on a quantum level, you will transverse the space instantaneously.
Yeah, that's like the theory behind the movie Jumpers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But not like that. No, not like
I
that.
know what you mean. But in theory, yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to that, but it's literally getting every atom in your body, every proton, neutron, everything to just say, this is the frequency. And how do you do that? You do it, ready? By thought. So thought within a thought.
Right.
Within a thought. And that's what I'm saying. Everything we are, every proton, everything is all part of some thought. You know what I mean? So the universe began to think, and we are an expression of it. So that's just my paper and where my brain thinks all the time, you know. And to think that there's nothing else is ludicrous. And you know, and I've been doing that since I was 7. You know what I mean? Arguing.
Right.
Shit. So,
Hey, hold on a second. I wanted to address this. Lord Squaldred is talking. He says, "What is quantum?"
Quantum is the space in between space, and it goes on to a decimal. It goes on to almost infinity. So
Fibonacci. It's a Fibonacci scale.
Correct.
Sequence.
We can't see that small, but quantum theory is the frequency of everything that it puts together. I guess that's the best way to phrase it. So
it's the wall between reality. It's the wall between reality.
It is the bridge. It's the glue that holds everything together, is what I like to say what quantum is. It is.
Well, I like to think of it like a wall because it separates us from the other reality.
Correct. It is. It's what holds us together here.
Jammed together, right?
Here.
The beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm. Because the same in the physical state, for those that are typing, there is, for every particle, every molecule, every atom, and whatever, the smaller you go, the more frequency it becomes. It becomes static. The best way to describe it, when they did it in the movie Ant-Man, that visualization in that movie, when they went sub, which is going to the quantum realm, was literally a they did that, and it can be fact checked. You can go to the movies. The research team that developed the graphic for that was based off an actual quantum string approach. So after they bombarded some iridium particle in the super collider. So in other words, it's frequencies upon frequencies like a woven mesh, and they all intersect and they make everything happen. But the fun part about it is in the quantum realm is the glue, which means it's the thought that holds us all together. That's pretty much it. So without it, there's no us. That's the best way to phrase it. Without it, there's no us. And when it gets down to the finite point, you're correct, Wiz. The finite point of the quantum realm is a micro black hole.
Correct.
For every
atom.
For every atom, for everything beyond the atom. Because the atoms, what are they floating in? Well, they're floating in the quantum realm. So we are all dancing in the quantum realm. It's just so damn small, we can't see it. It's there. I used to chant when I was 10 years old, talking about shadow worlds. My parents thought I was nuts. What's shadow world? Like we could be at the bottom of a Shadow World's ocean, but we would never know. Either A, we're too big to see them, or B, we're so small they can't see us.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Carpenter, congratulations. Congratulations. His daughter is having a baby tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
Dang, Grandpa again.
Yeah, you people on crack. What's up?
Crack people making babies and shit.
So,
but that's philosophical, Wizard. That's where I can go if need be.
You got it. You got it. So it's fun to talk about it. But yeah.
Well, what's really the best part for me is that literally inside my home is a person who has read my shit.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So we've had our pissing matches. So
it's going to be a boy. It's a boy.
You know, Carp's happy. He's got another boy to take hunting and fishing. And
hell yeah.
Third time a grandpa.
Although that I guarantee you toss a little girl in there and she's going to be the spoiled little princess by Grandpa too.
Yeah, and she'll be an Annie get her gun kind of girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. So yeah, if you ever want to talk about that, Wizard, not a problem at all. Like I said, it's like I said, when I was in quote the devil's den of schools, the Catholic high school, I only went to that school because my dad, of course, looking at me. I went into high school when I was 12, just so you get an idea. So I wanted to go. I told my dad, it's real simple. I go, here's me and here's me again. I go, we both take the same classes, we get the same grades all 4 years. We're absolutely identical in every way, shape, or form. The only difference is this is public school and this is private school. Now, we both go to Loyola University, and Loyola is looking at us. They're going to pick who? Not the public school. So that was my logic. Of course, I went to a Catholic high school because my family's Catholic. However, I'm the little smartass who literally failed theology all 4 years on purpose just so I could piss off priests. And they thought I was the son of Satan, which was fine. I liked that time. They left me alone, which was fine. So I told... So when you get down to it, anytime it's philosophical, religious, or whatever, feel free. If you want the scientific side, I'll be more than happy to get you there if you want.
I gotta ask you real quick. Where did you go to Catholic school at? I grew up Catholic too, and I went to school for a bit, and it sounds like we had completely different experiences.
Yeah, I went to St. Edward's Catholic High School, and it was interesting. It was a different kind of Catholic high school. It was a college preparatory, but to the level of they literally tested every year back in my day.
Every year we did a lot of testing.
1,000 people, and they'd only pick 100.
Okay, see, I went to St. Anthony's.
Yeah, so 100 people. Each class was 100, always 100. So
that could have been the difference. We had like 12 kids per class. So
yeah, we had 100 kids for the whole the whole senior class was like 100 people. It's like, wow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Real hard competition. You're either one or you're a loser. You know what I mean? Just think about that. 100 people, there's going to be one valedictorian, and then everybody else slides down that scale. You know what I mean? So I didn't make valedictorian all 4 years just because I kept failing theology on purpose because I'd have to go to summer school. Of course, I'd ace it. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, okay. I just liked arguing. It's like, okay, well, this doesn't make any sense. Explain it to me. So my biggest one that got me kicked out for a week was I had two times. My junior year, my senior year. Junior year, I got expelled for a week. Because I was kind of arguing with the priest. I wanted to know whether chapter 2 was an extension of day 6 in Genesis, or was chapter 2 day 8?
See,
that was my argument.
See, I've got second cousins and stuff that are nuns and
Oh yeah,
priests.
I got those too. We're Irish Catholic. We're gonna have it. Trust me.
See, I'm
sacrificial lamb.
I'm Germanic Catholic, but which basically, a lot of the Irish, a lot of the Irish are basically off branches of Germanic, earlier Germanic.
That's what's really funny. Do we remember when we were showing my ancestry? I'm Irish, no Germanic, 0.
Well,
so my bloodline all from there. I was born, there. So I've lived here since 2.
They do it linguistic now, which I don't know when they did this, but they do it linguistic now. That's like they say now. They say Scandinavian people are not Germanic, which is completely wrong. So that would make me half Scandinavian and half Germanic. But in all actuality, if you go back far enough, it's Germanic.
Yeah, we've got.
So I don't know when they changed that.
Yeah, we have family records that go back 900. Actually, we have an entire town named after us. It's just like, yeah. So it's kind of like, it's interesting, but having dual citizenship is always a blessing. So
how far does your crest go back?
900 years. We actually have all the records of every living member in my clan for almost 900 years. Almost.
It's 900 on one side. It's 900 on one side, and it's 1100 on the other. Though on the other, through the Germanic areas, it can actually go back to 925.
Yeah.
And then it's 1156 or something like that on the Scandinavian.
Yeah, because when we did my DNA test, as far as my where the family extension goes to for genetics, it went to Scotland, it went to Ireland, it went to Wales. However, it didn't extend outside those 3 zones. Nothing. No German, no nothing. It didn't go off to the side, go down to France. There's no tweet somewhere. So it was kind of interesting,
No, I think everybody should celebrate their heritage. I don't, I'm Germanic, and a lot of people, I get you shouldn't celebrate your heritage. It's like, okay, Nazis were awful. They were horrible. They were animals. They were beasts. Devils. I can acknowledge that. That's a stain on my history. But not every German was a Nazi either. I lived in
Germany for 6 years. I loved it. There was and I was there when the wall was still there. So
plus, if you go back further, my ancestors were the ones that were some of the very few that held off the Romans that were equally as evil, as the Nazis. So I think everybody should be allowed to celebrate their history. We all have stains on our history. I don't care.
All I can tell you this right now, I know Hitler's probably laughing his ass off right now because the United States is going the same direction. So,
and
so I'm sure he's laughing his ass off.
And I as having German heritage, I don't claim him as a German. I think he was an evil piece of shit. Pardon my French.
Wasn't he Austrian?
He was like half Austrian and half Jewish, and they call him. And they say Jewish, but he was actually his. This is what's weird. This is the whole Rothschild, the Askhazarian mafia type. When it goes into where they're not actually Jewish and they claim to be Jewish, and the actual Jewish people, most of the actual Jewish people that are in Jerusalem and stuff and around the world are treated horribly by these that claim they are, but they aren't. And that's why it makes me sick that there's people out there that still talk about, Jewish people in it. It's like, no, actual Jewish people are not the horrible, bankers and stuff. You say these are actually, a lot of them are, they're Eastern European. They're not Germanic. They're like, like the Assyrian Empire, the ancient empire, right? You probably researched or heard about when it fell, they came in and a lot of them even went down to, Jerusalem and stuff like that. And they adopted the Jewish religion. And that's why a lot of rabbis and stuff like that, they'll call them, they'll call them out for, and a lot of Jewish people, they'll call them out for being fake Jewish,
Zion.
And a lot of it is the Zion and everything. Well, and they're not, that's why there's a thin line there that you want to get that point across. But a lot of people would hear me talking like that and they think I was Jewish bashing. It's like, no, not at all. The Jewish people are treated horribly by these people, and I feel bad for them. It's just like the Chinese and the CCP. I despise the CCP, but the Chinese are great people. They're just being treated horribly. So,
and here we are now in our own country dealing with the same shit. You know what I mean? I know friends that are from Europe. They're all laughing at us right now in Europe. Every one of them is.
Well, especially since Biden went over there and idiot.
Pretty much stuck his dick in his own ass. You know what I mean? Jesus.
Yeah. Literally. Had to have his wife lead him around by the hand.
Yeah, I would have asked him. If I would have been one of those reporters sitting there right there, I would have asked him, so Mr. Biden, since you're now in front of Mr. Putin, do you want to tell him how much of a murderer he is? You know what I mean? Like to his face.
Read Battery's post. He got it. Don't repeat it because that's a no word online and everything to say. But it's the actual people, and that's what Hitler's family was. Hence the latter part of that name.
Okay.
But the little algorithms they'll catch the last part of that, and they don't like it if you say it. And it's a messed up deal. But Battery nailed it.
But it's really funny. That would drive.
Those are the Khazarians.
Wizard. You ready for this? What would drive them crazy is, I could be the one that could write the alternate program that would suppress that. So, it's like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. And I can feed it through anything. It doesn't have to be connected. I can just shut it down.
I don't mean to sound like a wimp. I just don't want to be the person that gets Emerald or Pats or something taken off. I'm not going to do that. Emerald, I've got a proposition. Are you there? I was wanting to start a stream and do it, I'm not worried about views, money, and all that. Instead of me starting a stream, would you be interested in doing a Saturday night occasionally? And I will bring, different information and stuff for every other Saturday night. And we could just do that type of stream on yours. And then that way you can have the viewers if we pull new ones in.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say, Wiz, and he knows that from Chris, but I own thousands of servers, thousands. And I actually have a server right now that's been built specifically for and I'm not making a dime off this because I'm not charging anybody anything for it.
I would, we could do that. In fact, I was going to say, if you wanted to do it a little earlier in the evening,
start it. Yep.
I could actually bring you in as an admin and give you access to start up the stream, name it whatever you like, and run it through this program.
Awesome. Yeah, because I'm not, and I think the more viewers you guys get and everything, the more, and I'd be the same way with Aaron. If he ever wanted to do it, I would also, talk with him if he ever wanted to. It's just, I just want to talk about it with other people. I enjoy the crud out of it. I don't, but if I could get, a different group of people in, maybe add some different, who knows, I might get one or two people, but But
Well,
it might.
right. You know, that's awesome. And what I was saying is, when we first developed this and found out about this platform, we had Michelle that was doing stuff during the day. Lady Liberty was doing a deal in the mornings, and then we would do the show at night. There were
Carp.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Canute
Oh,
would
sorry.
pop in when he could. And he
Yeah.
actually, we were looking at trying to do a 24-hour format and just give everybody their time.
No, that would be cool. Because I mean, when I got off on Saturdays, that'd be my best day, because Sunday, if I do take a day off, it's usually Sunday. So my best day would be Saturday, if that would work. I just don't want to take away from anybody else that wants to do anything that night.
Right. Because we really don't start up anything on here until about either 8 to 10 on Eastern time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anything before that, it's open game. If you wanted to go like a Saturday afternoon or an evening,
Okay.
yeah, that would be, it's in fact, you got my number and stuff, right?
Yeah, I need to text you those pictures of that.
And
auto
well,
too.
give me a call and we'll talk about it. We'll get it set up.
Okay.
It's
It might be tomorrow evening, if that'll work.
Yeah, tomorrow evening would be good. Would be okay.
Yeah.
Now, generally, I'm available about 8 to 9, but just because it's daylight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm back in the shop, so I'm working till it gets dark in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
Which is about 7.
Me too.
And then I'm cleaning up and eating dinner and getting ready for the show. So,
Wizard, do you have my number too?
yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna sign off.
I wanted to tell Battery real quick. Battery, you didn't do anything wrong typing it. It won't show up on there. I just didn't want to say it, is all. He was worried that he did something wrong putting that, but no, you actually nailed the name. It won't do anything there. I just figured if I said it, they would have their little reason to get rid of us all talking openly and stuff.
Yeah. All right, Dave. Dream well, Patriot, and go spend some time with your family.
Absolutely. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. God bless you.
Bye.
Kim, I got a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
You said that you weren't intelligent, and you are open-minded, and that is the key and one of the biggest proving areas of intellect. So don't take credit away from yourself. You deserve a lot of credit. You're open-minded and you figure this stuff out. So you are very intelligent. So yeah, that was my bone. I wanted to pick that with you. I heard you say that. I was like, oh, heck no.
Yeah, I mean, because, with reading and all of that, I don't do that. I have never been able to read.
It doesn't matter. You still get the stories. You still get the information. And then, but the difference is you're able to process that on your own and make your own interpretation.
Learn.
Precisely. Yeah.
Break down the word intelligent. Okay? And intel. Agent.
Yeah.
Okay? You bring in information, intelligence, intel. Okay? And you become an agent of that when you associate it with other information that you've gathered and you can put it in perspective. That's intelligence. If you really break it down, that's intelligence.
Okay. Like I said, the only thing I know is when stuff was read to me when I was in school, my one teacher took me to Bowling Green State University College here in Ohio. And she had me as a student teaching her teachers that she was teaching. to work with and understand students like me, to where when things was read to me, I could process it. But sitting there and trying to read it myself, it just never sank in.
You know, Einstein couldn't do regular math. Einstein had issues with 2 + 2. I mean, so when you look at a lot of this, the mind is an amazing thing. It gives a little to gain a little, gain a little. So in one area you might lose a little, in another area you're going to gain a lot. A lot of geniuses out there had little idiosyncrasies that there were simple things that they could not, simple to others that they could not do. So when it's one thing, one small thing like with the reading, that's not a qualifier for not being intelligent. You are super intelligent because you can work all this out, and you got to figure you have to work it out. So you have to take all this information, and so you're taking it from a lower aspect and still catching up to everybody. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're doing
I guess
more with it.
In a way, it's almost like a blind person, when they lose their sight, other things kick in.
Yeah, exactly. There's other senses, and that's how your body, your mind, everything reacts. There's other things that when something is lacking, other things kick in a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I mean, Einstein, going back to him, couldn't do simple basic math, came up with geometry, with algebra, and my opinion, I can't stand algebra. I think it's a scientific equation, and it's not necessarily mathematical. I won't get into that. Anyways, I was a good student, but I struggled with algebra.
Oh, come on. You couldn't memorize your logarithms?
I couldn't. I struggled with that. And the funny thing is, they almost wouldn't allow me to go into trig and geometry, but I aced trig and geometry, but I got a D in algebra.
Yeah, the more complex the math got, the easier it got for me.
Really? And I don't know what it was about it. It made no sense to me. And I'd get in trouble for arguing with the teachers, telling them this isn't math. This is, why aren't we learning this in science class and everything?
They would get pissed off at me because I would get the answers without working the math out.
Oh, not me. In algebra, yeah, they want to see it because they think you're cheating otherwise.
They always wanted to see it worked out. How did you get this answer?
Yep.
Right, because I was acing the test and I wasn't turning in homework. In high school, I just worked too much. I was working 2 jobs after school, and I was like, listen, guys, this is fine. I don't have time to do the homework, except for what I can do in class right here, And I was like, listen, you want to give me a test? Give me a test. And they did, and I aced it. And they're like, where's all your work? You're not showing your work. I was like, I don't need to do this, show the work. That takes too much time. In my book, it's not worth it for me to do it. I can do it all in my head, and then bang, here's your answer.
Here's the weird thing. Battery just brought up calculus. As close as calculus and algebra. Calculus made sense to me, but I still struggled with algebra.
Well, calculus was the angles and the waves and that kind of stuff.
Finding perceived paths and stuff like that. It's similar to geometry.
Well, it had a geometry aspect in it with the X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but with algebra, I still can't tell you what it was. The kids all my nieces and nephews would come up, and they knew. I mean, even my sisters would tell them, if it's algebra, and you go to ask Uncle John for help, you will fail. Don't ask him about algebra. Ask him about anything else, just not algebra. And plus, you'll hear all about how bad algebra is. It's just, yeah. So it's one of those things. We all give a little to gain a little, and that's how our bodies and our brains do it naturally. And so you got to promise me, Kim, to please give yourself more credit.
Okay.
There. That's it. That's what I want to do.
It's not about somebody else's perception. But besides, it's not about somebody else's perception of your intelligence either.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to stop worrying about what other people say and think about you.
Exactly. Yep. Like me, I prefer it when people actually believe that I eat crayons. So
hey, Jim. Dream well, Patriot. See you tomorrow.
They don't see you coming.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow, Tim.
Take care, Tim. But I think that'd be a blast if we could get, people on it. And Kim seems to have a lot of the similar outlook as Pat did. And I was never able to get voice to voice with Pat. I didn't get over that, boy, I don't want to go online and have it stay there forever, and everything. Yeah. And I always promised him he would be the first one I did it with. And then after he passed away, I was like, I missed that shot. I'm not missing again. And that's why I hopped up with you that night. So, yeah, because I knew I missed that chance, and I would have loved this conversation. I know I did it through text, and Emerald, you and Pat, would get into those discussions, and I'd do it through text, and we'd do it like that. And we had some pretty deep discussions, but yeah. I wish we could have had one like this, because Pat was Ryan. I'll say Ryan. I shouldn't say Pat. Well, since I'm on voice, everybody will know I'm not talking about the other Ryan, but right. Ryan was probably one of the most spiritually intelligent people I've met. I mean, he had an outlook, and he saw everybody's aspect of her, everybody's ideas, and that's a rarity. So he was able to work with groups and keep the conversation calm, to where nobody got mad in a religious discussion. So, but yeah,
he always did the observation. I can't even say the word, but he always changed the subject to the Nordics.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew it other than him.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And he could name them too. I mean, I thought I knew something about it, but I mean, he could tell you the god of the, of the hunt, the god of everything. He knew it.
Yeah.
Off the top of his head.
From what I understand, he went and read. That's all he did for a long time, was read different books and read different things, because he got into wanting to know and was asking so many questions that he just ended up letting people answer it and started looking it up himself.
And see, I think that's the best thing anybody can do. Everybody has their own path.
Welcome back, Bear. Things going better for you?
Ooh, I think Zachary wants to say something. Sorry about that.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on. I'm going to hop down. Have a great night.
You too, brother. Yeah,
you
too. Have a good one. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for putting up with me talking too much.
Nah, you're doing fine. All right, bud. Doing well, Patriot.
I get on some of these conversations, and I can go for hours on them, especially the religious history, I think, and the different aspects of mythology, all the mythos, Greeks, Romans, and everything, and how many dots are connected with Christianity and with all the others, you know. There is one that I've tried to understand. But with the Muslim religion, it's
it dies back in 400 AD.
Yeah, it's well after Christianity and everything. Actually, 700, wasn't it? 700 AD.
Well, yeah, you're right.
I can't remember exactly.
Nothing. Even its references to Abraham die at 400 AD. You know.
Yeah, it was a copy of the Christian Bible, but he removed Jesus out of Muhammad. He removed Jesus and put himself in that. And there's actually, and this is not very well known, there's actually two versions and everything. And this comes from an ex-Muslim that became Christian. They said there's two versions, one that preached peace and harmony. Then he came to power, and it became ruthless when he came to power. So
well, it's the beginning versus the end of the book. It's the later in the book. Yeah.
And it just shows that when he got that power, then his true colors came out. And I mean, I don't want to offend anybody because it's their religion. I mean, they believe in it fully and everything. I just think it's too much like Christianity that they kind of just took Jesus out and put in Muhammad in a way. There's too many crossovers there. And since it was so late after, Christianity and so many of those scriptures had already been written, it just seems odd to me. And I could be, I could be wrong. I could be schooled by somebody that knows way more about it than me. I've just, read parts of the Quran. I haven't even read the entire Quran. So I've just, read parts and everything. But that's one that doesn't make sense. But you've got some of them like Buddhism and everything. And, there's discussion about Jesus traveling to the East for years, to get to adulthood and everything. And he came back he left a peaceful man, but he came back a peaceful man. Makes a person wonder what type of influences he had. Meeting some Buddhist monks or something like that. It's just, I ask those questions, but see, now a lot of Christians get very
upset.
Mad at me. Yes. Yeah. And a lot of them.
Yeah.
They get really upset.
In my quest for my PhD, I started looking at the chi and trying to understand it. I also looked at Zoroastrian because I was after creation science, so I was looking for evidence of effect rather than of event. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's why I know so much about the different aspects of some of this mysterious history of the planet,
Yep. I got a question. You seem familiar with Buddhism, with Qi. I don't know how familiar you are with Hinduism. Is Qi kind of like the 7 chakras of Hinduism? The centering?
No, Qi is more like a guidance. It's not so much a religion as it is it's almost like Greek philosophy.
Okay.
In a sense, because you have these tokens that you toss and they match up with the lines, and then you look up the verses for that sequence.
Okay.
And it's a little complicated.
It's also life force too.
Yes, life force is very much a factor in there.
Nice.
And there's a lot of natural law, cause and effect kind of stuff. It's more of a guidance that you would think of coming out of like the monks from the Dalai Lama kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you toss these coins, it's like tossing bones. Remember the old wives' tales about people, the old witch doctors would toss bones and then be able to tell you.
Oh yeah, the voodoo type stuff. And
what they mean.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And that's the way the chi works. And there are so many combinations, and it has a significance in the chance of sequence. But yeah, it's not like something you sit down and listen to a sermon.
Yeah,
it's a personal discovery situation,
and that's good. And I think that's what Christianity is meant to be, is a personal discovery. I think people got too literal, and this is where I'm going to tell everybody, in chat and everything, anybody who's listening, I believe fully in God. I believe fully in Jesus. I'm 100% Christian, but the books and everything in the Bible and everything sometimes worry me, because the King James Version is different from the Old Testament. Even the Catholic version is a little bit different than the Old Testament, and things were left out, things were interpreted differently and everything. So throughout time, it's been altered. And even in the beginning, the people that received the word of God were men. These men received the word of God, and they interpreted it, what he was saying, to the best of their knowledge. So
all right, Bear.
I don't know about. Good night, Bear. And my concern is always taking it too literally. I think you need to approach it with a philosophical sense.
Yeah,
I think too literally is dangerous, and that's where I don't know, there's just too many chances of manipulation and everything. I mean, we look out throughout history, how many kings, queens, how many popes have used religion to war. I mean, it used to be in the Middle Ages.
Used their power to manipulate the book for what they liked and what they didn't like.
Yeah. No, the King James Version was not the complete Old Testament. Not at all. The King James Version is actually a very watered down version of it. The Old Testament is very, very blunt. It's very blunt. And that's one thing I'll disagree with, that the King James Version is definitely not the Old Testament.
Right.
But with all the rewrites and all the things that they've done with the Bible, there's a couple parts that almost every Bible has in it.
Yeah.
And
I agree with Bear.
And that at the end of the book, they always, almost every Bible I've ever seen always says, if anything's taken out of this or added to it, there's you'll get judged for that. So no matter who rewrites the Bible and what language they put it in, or what spiritual part they're writing, they always put that in. So to me, who's ever rewriting it or redoing it realizes there's a curse if you're rewriting it wrong.
Yep. Even in modern days, to tack onto that a little, modern days, you watch different pastors, different priests and everything. Nothing is identical when they're giving a sermon. So there's always, a few little different interpretations between all of them. So I think it needs to be a self, we as individuals need to read it, know it, take it for ourselves. And I think people need to be open to, look at other ways and everything. Not saying switch. Absolutely not. In my opinion, Christianity is the only truth. And, in my heart, in my opinion, everything. But how can we truly come to God on our own volition if we don't know any better. I mean, that's how I look at it. I came to God with knowing all this different stuff. I still, came to God, stayed with God and everything. And to me, I think that's a pretty great thing. I didn't veer away and everything. It's, and like Pat and I used to talk about, he called him Odin, the Allfather.
Yes.
Oh shit, he fell out.
Oh, he hit the wrong button.
Right. But yeah, there's been multiple manipulations, and I don't know that they have stayed true to those to that,
I hit the wrong button.
Don't hit the wrong button.
But I was going to go finish that real quick. But Pat, and his interpretation was Odin was God, and he still believed in Jesus. He was Christian. He just, even that by another name is still God. And I think everybody needs to come to it themselves, and however they interpret it, as long as they end up with God, I think that's the main thing. But I'll quit rambling.
Well, that's what a lot of mine and his stuff was he talked about Adam and Eve, and that Eve was not, when you look into some of the other Bibles and look into some of the other history, that Eve was not the first woman.
Judith, or not Judith.
Lilith.
Oh, Lilith. Thank you. Gosh. Yep, Lilith. And then she sinned, and God replaced her with Eve. Tanya, I wasn't saying that Odin was. I said that was Pat's interpretation, and he still found his way to God. So God was there. I didn't say Odin was God. I said that's how, he studied different things and he came to it. I didn't mean to say that, they're all, and actually they could all be the same. I don't know. But I don't want you to think that I'm saying they're one and the same. Okay, sorry about that. I just wanted to respond to her.
Right. That's how he interpreted.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought that was great because he still found his way to God, and that's cool. He followed Jesus, and yeah. I thought it was great.
And one of my things that I've always thought was Catholic was like one of the first religions, because when you study the beginning of the Bible and stuff, and it talks about that they was a preacher or priest that was the only one that was allowed in the chapels, and that they wore the bells and wore a rope around them. And when they went in, you could hear the bells while they took your prayers and stuff, and they had to be humble and forgiving themselves to go in, or the bells quit ringing and they pull them out by the rope and they died.
Yeah.
So when I think of Catholic, that was a lot that it used to be with the Catholics. You always take your prayer, and you couldn't pray straight to God or Jesus. You told the priest what the problems was or your stuff, and then he prayed for you or with you.
And
so we got a call for fire in the motherfucking boat.
And see how, like, that's not uncommon. even growing up, I questioned a lot of that. Even calling the priest father, I questioned a lot of that. And my second cousin, my dad's cousin, who is a priest, I'm sorry, I'm reading chat. But he explained to me that they're there for guidance. They tell us, a good prayer to say and stuff like that. And I always thought that was kind of a neat thing. But yeah, and like I say, none of them are perfect. None of them are exact. And I think any of us that claim anybody's completely wrong or completely right are fooling ourselves, to be honest. Condemning people as evil for having different opinions, and I mean all that. Unlike going back to his interpretation, I thought was neat. I don't care what other people think. Right. I thought it was neat, and he still found his way back to God, which he believed in God and Jesus. And if people don't understand that Jesus is Christianity, then I don't know what to tell them. So that's, but I don't know. I think everybody's outlook is valid. I think everybody should be able to find their own way.
On a lot of my stuff, I think that maybe God and Jesus have two different people that are two different religions that they considered as their favorite. Because when God sent Jesus down as the baby and everything, his main focus, from what I understand, was like the Jews, and because that's what Jesus was, Jesus was supposed to be born as. And then when they turned against him, his people became more of the Gentiles.
Yeah.
Well, the priest class. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the regular lowly, and that goes back to a lot of the meek will inherit the earth. And Jesus knew from the beginning that he was going to die for our sins. I mean, in my opinion, that shows how great he is. That's my interpretation of it. Bear's getting frustrated. I think Bear agrees with some of what we're saying. He said it keeps buffering every time we get started saying something good.
I know. He says he can't link up on the phone.
Shoot, I'd like to have Bear up here for this.
StreamYard does pretty good on the phones.
Yeah, I'm on a phone right now.
Well, ain't it because where he's at, it's really hard to get
internet
and phone and everything.
And I'm actually hooked to the Wi-Fi through the fiber optic internet, so
Carpenter, I'm right most of the time. I say that because you could be damn sure no one else will.
We've got a thing in the Catholic Church that a lot of us, there's kind of different factions in the Catholic Church, and I won't get into any of that. It's kind of hard to explain, but there's the Sunday goers that go every Sunday and everything. Through the rest of the week, they're horrible to people. They're not good, but they go to church, so they believe they're the ones being saved. But you got these other people that they've got full-time jobs. Some of them work 7 days a week. The people that go every Sunday condemn them that they're going to go to hell. But these are good people that do good by people and stuff like that and everything. And so we've got the people that go every day, know all the scriptures and everything, that condemn everybody. And last time I checked, unless you're perfect, you shouldn't cast the first stone. And that's a pretty big sin to condemn somebody. I mean, we're not here to judge. Our judgment comes at the end.
Judge ye not yet, lest ye be judged.
Yes. Yep. And I hope I'm doing anything, and I hope people understand I'm not trying to talk them away from Christianity. A lot of these are questions I just ask, and I think anybody that finds their way to God is cool. So,
right.
Boy, we got
right.
way off our original subject.
We all have our own cross to bear.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we all have to answer for our own ways and what we did. You know.
So a fire in the bowl for bear and a prayer to the Lord for his heals.
Yes.
Yes.
God bless you, Bear. We love you, brother. Get better. You're going to get better soon.
I think religion anymore is a more difficult topic than and it's sad to me, but it's more difficult than even politics, I think, anymore. And I think that's sad because I think religion is supposed to be for open-minded people.
Well, I stay away from the word religion too, because that's a relegation of believers. It's control of the people.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good point. That's why I differentiate faith from the church.
Correct.
And yeah.
I also have the statement that I like to make. A church is not a building and a temple is not a place.
Jesus gave sermon in a cave and in meadows.
And on a mountainside.
Yeah. So when he claimed this is my Father's house, that was a single place in Jerusalem. Not every church around, not every, so, I mean, we can't put up a building and say this is, Jesus said this was his Father's house and everything because that was a single building. So I think church used faith to control people too often.
Yes. It was a form of government in the Dark Ages during the medieval wars.
Yeah. Yeah. And Carpenter just nailed it too. Faith takes no proof. And whether you're talking definition or belief, it nails it in both areas. But now for a funner topic, are you guys much into the megalith of like South America and stuff like that?
Megalithic stone sets?
Yes.
Now you're talking about Puku.
Yeah, that and Teotihuacan, whatever it is. Teotihuacan. Yeah. It's a tongue twister. But where they have the almost as if it was molten rock placed in some areas. And the ones they did carve have metal pins holding them together, carved out perfect for that metal to be poured in there.
But you want to know the most interesting thing that I found about all that stuff, it wasn't just South America. They've also found it in Greece and Asia as well.
Yep. Thank you, Miriam. Yep. Miriam put it on there. Teotihuacan. Well, you even look at some of the Roman settlements, and we're talking about Mesopotamia. Some of the Roman settlements in the lower part of Mesopotamia, they're built on megaliths. There were structures there before the Romans built on them, and they were megaliths.
Yes. Oh, yes. The Romans were famous for tearing and reutilizing the stone.
Yep. And then claiming it was their structure to begin with. And they could tell because at the bottom of it, when they get into some of the catacombs and stuff, some of the bigger stones they couldn't move were still there, and they just use that as a base. So it's interesting. That's why I would like to do that 3D map, some digital map to do all the different pyramids. And I know the ley lines and stuff, but just look how they're laid out and everything to see, just kind of get into it a little more detail.
Not far. There's also some other strange ones that I've seen. There's an island in the South Pacific where they have these jars and these owl they appear to be like owls carved in stone. Nobody knows what it was. Nobody knows who did it.
Is that in the same one where they found things that looked like dinosaurs carved in the stone?
I don't remember that being a part of it.
Okay, because I know there's one that they found these ancient carving, and they resemble dinosaurs. They say they're lizards, but if you look at the scale that they put, like the bigger cats of the area, I can't remember what area it is. But if you look at the scale, that the reptiles are a lot bigger. So, and it's kind of creepy when you think about it. I mean, it makes a person think, how far do we go back?
Right. Well, there is that, but we understand that we only go in geologic record. Humans have only existed for maximum 60,000 years.
Yeah,
potentially.
But then that goes back to the question that I asked, that I kind of brought up earlier. How many years was just animals on the earth before God started making people?
Well, there were other people. There were other races on the earth. There were giants.
I think there's seven different, because we all think of Neanderthal and then Homo sapien, and there's actually 7 different ones they found. One up around the Rush area, and I can't think of the names or anything, but there's several different subspecies around well before, Homo sapiens came around.
Well, you're also talking about, you're probably getting into like the Denisovians.
Denisonians, yes, those were the ones in the Russian area.
And
a lot of them were in the Siberia and whatnot. Yeah, which would have had to been well before it was completely frozen over too. Which is because I don't know. Timelines don't match up, and that's where I think that God created the world in 7 days. Well, 7 rotations. You think about us going around the earth. Well, could it be possibly that he said 7 days on his scale, which is way different than our scale? So it's hard to tell. If you go like universal rotations, does it line up to, how long it took the earth to form with animals and everything? And I mean, there's got to be some sort of mathematical equation that a person could do. And I know there's people that have said they have done it and it matches up, but I've never really looked into it very deeply.
Right. Well, yeah, you remember that a star is 3,600 of our universe.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's according to the Anunnaki, who say they came from what we refer to as Nibiru.
Yep.
Which orbits a star that doesn't give off light. And there are 6 other planets around that star. And they were not the only race of beings in that system. And that other star is a companion star to our sun.
Yeah.
And it crosses, it comes through and crosses and orbits the star, or they orbit each other every 3,600 years, approximately.
Is that the one they call Planet X?
Yeah, misnamed planet. It's not a planet. It's a brown dwarf.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not as familiar with that. I've heard.
Well,
that,
the Planet X theory is saying that there's a 10th planet, or another planet that orbits our sun as part of our. But that's a misnomer. That's misinformation. It's not a planet. It's a brown dwarf. It is the companion star to ours, the one we orbit. We live in a binary star system, and every 3,600 years, this crossing happens. It's in the record of Egypt when it happened the last time. It wasn't known, and then at those times, it was a cross that showed up in the sky.
Okay, well, that's interesting because what era of Egypt? Like
3,600 years ago, which would have put it about 1600 BC.
Okay, so it was early dynasty. So that puts us right about in that area then.
Yep. The last time it passed was...
Makes a person wonder.
Yep.
I just think there's so much we have to learn that we know so little about everything.
Well, that's what I was telling you, Singularity. I was looking for similarities and not so much events, but more like effects.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, and when I started studying, because I looked at, I have always been on the, you know, trying to look at everything Mesopotamian as I could, because there's a lot of information there that they're not letting us know.
Yeah.
The ancient records, the Qi, the ancient Chinese fables and stories, legends, India, and there were 6 races of man. You know, according to the Indian Sanskrit, the red, the black, the white, the yellow, the blue, and the green. The green they called Naga.
Okay, I've heard some stuff about that.
Yeah, and they were reptilian class. And the blue, I think they were the water people.
Okay.
So
now, according to their mythos, was there a war that took some of them out? Did they leave? How did we become the solitary?
Well, they had separated themselves from our. They had separated themselves, and nothing was known about what happened to them. But so is the same thing about the ancient dynasties of Egypt. They got on their starships and sailed away. They went through the gate of stars.
You know, I had that discussion with somebody a while back, and I told him, okay, I said, okay, if aliens say someday we do find out there's alien life out there, who's to say they weren't somehow our ancestors that were advanced, left, every trace of them got wiped out, you know, like say after an asteroid impact or something like that, and they had to leave, and who's to say it's not just our ancestors coming back? I'm not saying that's how it is, but who's to say it's not?
Right.
That, you know, and that's why a lot of people, you know, with religious people, they think anything that's not born of earth would be evil, because we were made in the image of God. Well, we're all so different that, you know, the image of God could be bipedal, you know, walking upright on 2 legs. It
having 2 arms and 1 head. Yeah.
I mean, with the differences between what we have here now, that's, I think, to say that we're definitively exactly all like God, I think could turn into a racial thing and could be dangerous. And I think we need to look at it more of a philosophical sense. And that's why I think a lot of the Bible should be philosophical. But no, I'm a firm believer that there's a possibility of anything. That, you know, there could have been 1, 2 advanced civilizations I'm not talking about, with combustion engines and stuff. They could have had, like we were talking about earlier, they could have had like the crystalline technology, what did you bring up? The anti-gravity type stuff where they could float big stones and stuff.
Well, if you read the Sanskrit, I'm telling you, it sounds like science fiction novel. I mean, they flew ships that could not be seen by the naked eye, and they floated amongst the clouds and cast about terrible weapons of energy.
Ignition of a sun in the sky that sounds a lot like a nuclear weapon or something, or a massive laser or something like that. They talk about cities being wiped out by a small sun on Earth and stuff like that. There's some pretty wild stuff and a lot of parallels when you look at it with even our technology that we have now.
Right. Well, if you look, if you start looking at some of the other stuff, like that city that was destroyed, it still has nuclear effect. You know what I'm saying? From the weapon that was used against it.
There's stones that are still radioactive.
Correct.
Yep.
Well, there's even stories in the Bible that bring up different things like that, like Ezekiel. One of them is Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the sky. What in the world was that?
Right.
And the flying chariot, that the chariot took off up in the sky and the guy was running beside the chariot.
The Vimana, you look at that hovered with them as they escaped Egypt and fed them. I mean, all that stuff.
Well, look at the, what was that guy's name? He actually supposedly went up into the heavens and talked about the jobs of the angels.
Yeah.
I can't.
Miriam should come up here. She read a book about that too.
The book of Enoch.
Yeah, Enoch.
Oh, Enoch. And he talks about how there were many scribe events before him. There were several scribe events before him. Moses was a scribe event. Story of how he visited the burning bush.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back with tablets from God, administering the laws.
Yep. It could have been a portal. We don't know.
Correct.
That burning bush, a portal could have opened up, and if we just don't know. And we probably just lost a few other people that I made mad. I really am a Christian. I just am open-minded. We just don't know.
Right. I am too. I am full-blown. I am here, but by the grace of God. Living and breathing. I've been dead twice. So, yeah, there's no question in my mind about what's waiting for us. I just know, and all through all my studies, I have found no evidence that is contrary to the existence of Christ and the behavior of God.
Yep. I concur. There's a larger power out there, and in my opinion, there's no denying.
Yeah, it's getting late, guys. It's 1 o'clock, man. Fire in the motherfucking bowl. We gotta go.
Yeah, I should crash too. I actually didn't sleep last night. I was stressed out because I didn't get that darn sawmill done, and I've got a lot of people that are already wanting to purchase the posts I'm going to cut out of it. So I was sitting there thinking I need to get that done. So I just did some paperwork. Next thing I know, the sun was coming up.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I've done that before. But I got a lot of work done today. I got all the rest of the base and the the bottom cabinet for the coolers. I'm building 8 of them at once, but I got all the slat wood and the bases cut, ready to put together for the lower cabinet. And so tomorrow I'm gonna put them all together.
You've got those already sold too, don't you? A lot of them.
4 of them. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Well, supposedly. I also have a cornhole game that I built, the flag one.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and that guy was supposed to come get them last week. I got a picnic table that another lady wanted. I built. And she's, I'm supposed to give her a call tomorrow. There's no telling.
I know how that is. It's sold when you got the cash in hand.
That's what I keep saying, right? So
yeah.
I got a swing bench sitting out in the front yard. Somebody was supposed to come get last Sunday. They never showed up.
Nice.
You're just
Hopefully
getting everything all ready and getting all kinds of things built that they'll come and get them after the party. That way we can use them for the party.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because we can. I want to build a couple more picnic tables and several more picnic tables and stuff like that. So
I think I'm gonna. Oops, sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna head out, guys, and thank you. I enjoyed the heck out of the conversation, and hopefully I didn't lose too many people in chat and everything.
No, I don't think so. Not at all. It is what it is. This is the great American experience, and the people who participate are the ones who, guide the show. So that's how it works. So you can't have a bad way to go.
And
well, again, thank you guys.
And all the ones that dropped out because they didn't like the conversation, give them good dreams that they realize that they need to be in the conversations. Need to listen to the conversations.
And I'd like the different opinions to talk to too. I enjoy that. I know I'm not right on everything. I like different outlooks. I think all of them are pretty cool. So, but we'll chat with you guys later. Have a good one. Thank you again.
You know it, bud. God bless you and dream well, Patriot.
God bless you.
You too.
Good night, Kimmy.
Good night, Wiz. I can't wait to get down there.
I can't wait to meet you in person. And I'm busting my butt trying to get as much done as possible. So hopefully we'll have veggies when you get down here.
Yeah, we was talking the other night about different stuff to bring down and stuff, and I told Canoes I'm basically, far as food wise, gonna wait until we get there because I got like, what is it, almost $600 or a little bit more of food stamps. So I'll just wait until we get down there, and then whatever we need or different ones need and stuff, I'll get it up with the food stamps.
Well, don't kick yourself out of your regular routine, okay?
Yeah. I mean, that will help, different ones because, like I said, for a long time we was using Joey's and Sick Pat's food stamps, so mine got built up, and I get almost 100 or something, a little over $100 a month now.
Right.
And with my daughter and son-in-law living here, they get them now too. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, Don T's talking about being here, and he's talking about bringing a bunch of of food and snack and goodies. And Dave, Apex's neighbor, he's
Yeah.
talking about coming down and bringing all kinds of goodies and food and fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's going to be plenty. I think this will be there will be plenty, and yeah, it'll be awesome. I think this is going to be a really cool get together, and I'm looking forward to it. So I just hope that it turns out to be as great as everybody wants it to be.
I think it will be, especially for all the ones that we've been talking with and stuff, far as it's just going to be a great experience, especially for all of us to meet with all of us pretty much believing in God and stuff, for us to get to get to know each other on religion and all of that,
I think we won't have to even say a word, just being in the presence of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And enjoying the time that we have together. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm putting as much together as I can to make it as feasible and accommodating as possible. Yeah. There's some more things I gotta get done, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna get them done, but we'll figure it out.
Yep, we sure will. And I know God will, what needs to be done and stuff, it will get done with God's
We might have
will.
to dig a latrine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get it taken care of.
All right, Wiz. Talk to you tomorrow night.
Good night. Good night, Miriam. Good night. Who's all left? Skulldrazer. Tanya, if you're still there. Valentine, good night. God bless you all. I thank the Lord each and every day, each and every one of you. God bless you. Dream well, Patriots. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Go ahead and say the good night there, Jim.
Good night, everybody. God bless you all.